Hey guys, welcome back to Puck Talk. On today's episode of Puck Talk, we're gonna be continuing our mini series where we talk about each team in the NHL and seeing where we think what we think about them. Today is episode 6, and today we're talking about the Carolina Hurricanes, who are currently ranked second among the league. Let's get to it.
So like he said, today we're gonna be talking about the Carolina Hurricanes, and we're gonna talk about some categories for them. The first category is standings. Oh, that's like second already. And the second category would be best player this season. Third category would be status. In terms of status, we're gonna say contending, rebuilding, that kind of thing. And then the third category is where they will finish at the end of the season, and we'll discuss that. And the fourth category is a potential deadline trade for them. And the fifth category is the panic level among the fan base. So yeah, that's about it. So let's get to it. So for the people watching, the stats are going to be to the left of us, and we're going to discuss the stats a bit now. So what do we find interesting about the stats? Let's start with the goalies first.
Yeah.
Well, Kochetkov, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's going off, bro.
Kochetkov.
That's crazy.
Their
10,
their
1,
their
and 4.
goalies are good. Their goalies are just good.
Anderson's a little off though right now. In 891.
Still with a winning record though, at least.
That's good, yeah. They breathe. Like, how good is the team in front of them, bro? Like, their third goalie, or Antti Ranta, is 7-2. What kind of goaltending situation do they got going?
All
It's
we know is
crazy.
that their goalies are just really good.
They got 3 like starting caliber goalies.
That's
Crazy.
insane.
They're all over 500 too.
10, 1 and 4, 5, 3 and 0, 7, 2 and 2.
That's insane, yeah.
And
Yeah.
their starters going 1.94 on 92.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't think their goaltending is a problem at all. Their goaltending is elite.
All of
And
them are elite. Like elite to like above average is
yeah, I guess they're second for a reason.
hmm. And
And
now
then
let's get to the player
yeah,
stats.
the players are all this really consistent the top to end. Like
Yeah,
this
they're
is
all these stats so far that we can currently see. They all play around the same level, and they're all playing really well.
what an addition Brent Burns was.
So true.
He's playing so good on the back end right now. Because you pair him up with Slavin. I don't know if he plays with Slavin, but the way I'd imagine it, like yeah, just full disclosure, Carolina fans, I don't know if he plays with Slavin right now. But him and Slavin on a pair would be the perfect combo because he's the offensive-minded defenseman and Slavin's a defensive-minded defenseman. So I think that could really work out. Maybe they're doing it. If they are, that'd be cool.
This all around
Yeah.
just looks like a very balanced team with a good system as well.
Yeah. No.
Like
Yeah, they're
they'll
second for a reason.
yeah,
They're one of those teams where we won't have to say much about.
because
Yeah.
like this team just looks really well balanced from each position as well.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Like that's a heads up to the coaching staff, the overall head office, and just the players themselves performing really well.
Yeah, like the goaltending is good.
Mm.
Their forwards are producing. They're not relying on one forward. They're like spreading it out too. And then they have a solid offensive defenseman in Burns, and then we all know how good Slavin is defensively.
Mm.
So it's crazy. They got literally everything clicking for them right now.
Which makes okay. So should we move on to the next category then?
Yeah. The next category is gonna be a bit hard. So the best player this season for the Carolina Hurricanes. So we're gonna decide on that. So who do
So
we think?
how do we want to defer this? Because a lot of players in this on this team have been fairly in the same distance in terms of points. They've all been producing, especially the goalies. So what's the right call here?
I have no
Do we
clue.
want to try to defer and just go with the person with the most points? Or do we want to try to go for the goalie route because of how well all three of them have been playing and should pick one out of there? Because
I think
going
10-1 and 4 is impressive.
10, 1, and 4 is good, especially going 1.94 on 92
Yeah.
is a
Like
really great stat line.
I think we used this argument in like one of the older videos. Like if you took out one of the forwards, the team would still be doing just as good.
Yeah.
But if you got rid of, I guess, but if you took
Well,
the
like
goalie out,
if you get rid of the goalie from what it
they,
looks like right here,
they'd still be
then he
good.
still be good. Like
This is a hard one. So just if Canes fans are watching this, it's a difficult choice. I'll just say my
We're
top three
saying that
right
your
now.
team's good.
Yeah. My top three right now would probably be Kochetkov, the
Kochetkov.
goalie, the Natchez, and Burns. Just saying, just in case any of you are wondering what my top three would be. And then now we have to decide on one of them. So yeah, this is gonna be a tough one. Natchez, I can see the argument for. But then also Sveshnikov has 2 less points and 18 goals. 4 more goals than him.
Okay. But at the same time, Kochetkov is going 1.94 on 92.
It's a tough one. I think I give it to the goalie.
Like,
Because
yeah,
those are good
right?
numbers. Less than 2 goals against per game.
10, 1, and 4, losing once in regulation.
Yeah, I think we got to give it to Kochetkov. I can't pronounce his name for the life of me. I'm sorry, Canes fans. Okay, yeah. So do we agree on giving it to him?
Yep.
Okay, good. So the goalie gets it for this one.
If I'm correct, the next character category is my least favorite category.
Next one is status.
Oh, good. Never mind.
That
That's
is an
fine.
easy one.
Playoff contender.
Cup contender.
Oh yeah, no, like that's what I mean by playoff
Oh yeah,
contender.
yeah. Sorry, yeah, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, like playoff contender means the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely a playoff contender.
No doubt in my mind. This is the most consistent team I've seen in over the past 3 years.
That is also very true.
Most consistent regular season team.
Mhm.
Put it that way. And where they will finish. Top three easily.
Top top three. If we're pessimistic, we say top five, but top three, a top being top three is easier because of for this specific team because of the fact that all their players and coaches have this system in place and they're all
Yeah.
playing consistently, and the fact that they have three goalies that they can rely on.
Yeah, that's true. There's not gonna be like a cold streak that throws them off because somebody
Yeah,
else will just step up.
like what one of them plays subpar, and like you could just have another one fill. It's not a complicated goalie situation at all. It's pretty cut and clean. Unless if you're in a position where we can only keep one, but that's definitely not what they're doing right now.
Yeah, and I mentioned the consistency over the last few seasons. I don't think
Yeah.
top three is. I think top three is easy for them.
They don't.
This guy. I hope they bring in playoffs this year though.
Yeah,
They gotta get somewhere. And then deadline trade.
hate this category so much.
Yeah, this is a difficult one for us because it's hard to predict deadline trades. We get a lot of negative feedback on these, but like we got to do it for the sake
Like
of the
it's yeah,
segment.
for keeping trend with all our videos, we gotta do it. And that really sucks because of the fact that no matter what we say for most likely Carolina, it's not gonna be a good thing. Because we could defer and say just trade away a pick, but like that's a lame answer. And like giving away a pick now, I mean like for this team, there's no real
Yeah,
you don't
what do
have
you
an
do?
upside for Carolina, you don't have an upside of trying to get anyone. You have a downside for trying to trade someone away or a piece away right now.
Yeah, what do you do with this team? Like, what do
You
you add?
you
Okay,
if as a GM you don't touch it. You try to let it play out.
you
Like that
like goalies you can't add, decor you can't add. The
phenomenal.
decor is
It's
quite
phenomenal.
frankly stacked, and they're not spending a lot of money on the decor somehow. It's crazy. They
Like
have really good
mm,
contracts back there.
like Canes fans, if you have something in mind, like I wish I knew right now because us two we cannot see it. We don't know what you would give up.
But for the sake of the segment, we
What do we do?
I'm gonna look at the trade history. I'll see what they. Okay, I think the first round pick is gone no matter what.
Okay,
They
yeah,
trade.
that's fair.
Okay, so
The
let's.
if the do
Last
I
year they went for Max Domi.
like the point of giving up their first rounder now is to improve the team somehow. That's where you're truly trying to say that you're going all in this season. Hey guys, so sorry about that technical difficulties, but we're back. So, anyways, we were talking about the trade deadline and their moves and what they could possibly do.
Yeah, so we were saying that the Carolina Hurricanes are really good. They have nothing to really add. They have nowhere really to add anything. But for the sake of the segment, we do have to say something. So I think their first round pick is as good as gone though. because good teams always trade their first round pick, like Tampa did for Coleman and Goudreau and then Hagel last year. So I think first round pick is as good as gone. But now the question is, where do you think they spend the first round pick?
Now, if we just look throughout the whole entire team, you can't do it to the goalies because the thing about the goalies is that like they're all really good and you don't really have a reason to give any of them up, and it's just a depth thing. You don't want to really mess with the depth. Two, especially this season, you don't want to really go for the depth. So what does that leave us? That leaves us the second option that we could say is the defenders, but the defensive line and the core in general is just phenomenal. They don't really need to improve or change that too much.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
So which then leaves us with the only other option, which is the forwards.
Yeah, I think just because the sheer number of forwards, there's 12 of them, that means there's always room to improve because not all 12 can be perfect, if you know what I mean. Just by playing like the odds, I guess. So I'll go through the bottom six because that's the top six is fine. I don't think I'm gonna change anything in the top six. The top six is great. And then the bottom six has Martinhook, Stahl, Focht as the third line. And fourth line is Nosen, Kotkaniemi, and Stepan. So there, I do think they can improve a bit. I think you would agree there.
Okay, that's completely fair.
Like I think you could get like a scorer down there.
Yeah.
Like someone like I don't know. I don't know the names. I don't know who like specifically, but I think they could use a scorer on the third or fourth line. Somebody that can put the puck in the back of the net consistently.
Completely fair.
Like contending teams have top six players in their bottom six. I think they need something like that.
Okay, yeah. Then that's fair. That's best we got.
Again, your team's good. It's not a knock on your team. It's just that all we can possibly think of. So so deadline trade is move first
round pick, and then move a bottom six forward.
Wait, move a first round pick for a bottom six forward.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like that.
Yeah, and then panic level, none at all.
None. You should be pretty for the regular season right now. You should be pretty happy.
Fans are singing at the top of their lungs.
Your top three. Your team's consistent throughout. You have three good goalies. Fans dream that they could have something like that.
And your team is relatively young. You got happy days coming, Canes fans. Great days.
Round of applause to this team.
Yeah.
Well,
that does it for this segment. Unless we have something to say.
Nothing more to say. Your team's great. We don't have anything much to say other than like your team. The pauses, the upsides of your team. You have great consistent players. They're young. They're all working under a really great system. Your goalie core is phenomenal. Your defensive core is phenomenal. You can't ask for much more other than the fact that you're not first, but like I don't think that really matters unless for some reason you really want a President's Trophy.
Yeah, I think a cup is guaranteed. I'd be surprised if they didn't win a cup with this core eventually.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for our Canes talk. Thank you guys for listening.
All right, thanks so much.
Yeah, see ya.